Hi everyone. Today's class deals with harmony, the next of the basic elements we're going to be dealing with. Harmony is a little bit more difficult to hear because things like melody, rhythm, and lyrics come more immediately to your ears and to your mind when you listen to music. So I'm going to spend a few minutes with some of the terms on today's lecture notes to help you get a little bit better idea of what they mean as you go forward and listen to music and begin thinking about harmony in a little bit more depth and detail, as well as the other elements. So first of all, remember that harmony is two or more pitches happening at the same time. So if I play something like this, there are three different notes happening at the same time. If I play them melodically, one at a time, that's what we call an arpeggio. If I play them together, this is what's called a triad. It's a simple chord. A chord is any group of notes. Triads are chords that have three notes in them. Most popular music uses triadic harmony. All right? Now, the way that harmony is based is we stack up notes that are a certain interval apart from one another. So if I play one note in a scale and the next note 1 and 2, we call that a second. So if I play it harmonically, that's a second. That's a third, and a fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh octave. All right? If you listen to that carefully, almost sounds like one note. The reason for that is because the speed of vibration, the pitch of this note, is exactly twice the speed of this note. So they have a very basic physical relationship to one another. Notes that conform to a set of overtones every time we go up an octave, one, we call that vibrating speed 1, 2, another octave would be 4. It doubles again. So there has to be a 3 in the middle. That's where that is. These notes all fit together very nicely. When notes go together in a pleasing way, we call that consonance. If they don't go together in a pleasing way, this interval, pretty consonant, that's a dissonant interval. The physical makeup of these notes, the vibrating speeds, don't add up, literally don't add up very well. It's a little harder for our brains to decode. So it comes to us as being unpleasant or dissonant. All right? So thirds, that's the basis of the harmony that we are used to hearing. We can just stack them up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we have a triad. In this case, it's a major triad. Nice, upbeat, positive sound. If I take the middle note of the triad, this E, and I lower it by half a step, now I have a minor triad. All right? So, the ancient Greeks had 7 different modes to express different moods. Over time, it's been simplified in our Western music to basically just major and minor. Good, bad, happy, sad, that kind of thing. Now, as music flows forward, as we apply rhythm, the passage of time to music, we need a succession of chords, which we call a chord progression, to move things forward. And the form in music, which I will speak about in a couple of weeks, comes from repetition of chord progressions. If I play a very simple chord progression, it would sound like this. All right, so I played 4 triads, one based on the first note of the scale. I built up a triad on top of that note, the C. Then I went up to here, and to here, and then back. We can keep adding more notes on the top of chords. Chords that have more complex harmony, you'll be listening to some of that in today's listening assignments. The last 2 have a much more involved harmony than the first 2. We just keep adding thirds. It's called a major 7th chord. That has a nice sound to it. You'll remember that interval I played before those are two of the notes in this chord, 1 and 7, 3 and 5 in the middle. They make it sound a little bit more mellow. So, the 4 pieces of music, short pieces of music that you'll be listening to in today's assignment include very different uses of harmony. The first one is very simply a progression of 4 chords played over and over again. Each of the chords have 4 notes in them. Right, we call them 7th chords. The second piece of music is more simple. It uses triadic harmony, 3 voice chords, and there are 8 different chords, which also repeat over and over again. The third and fourth pieces are much more involved harmonically as we come forward through the history of Western music, classical music, whether it could be jazz, pop music, art music. All of the elements of music become more and more complicated until we reach a point where it becomes too complicated for people to be interested in, and then a lot of different things begin happening, reactions to that, and the styles of music become much more diverse as we get into the 20th century, which we'll deal with at the end of the term. So the assignment is there. Remember that these assignments are due by 9 p.m. next Monday evening. Please also note carefully that the textbook work, we're going to skip over Chapter 5 for now and go to Chapter 6 and do the assignment that goes along with that. And then we'll come back to Chapter 5 next week. Thank you very much.